There we go. Got it? Excellent. Okay. Well, welcome everyone. College and Career Ready Night. I am Paul Kelly. I'm the principal at Elk Grove High School, and we have an excellent and large panel of various stakeholders in this pathway. And so, in the interest of time, I'm going to ask each of these panelists to go ahead and introduce themselves so that each of you can have a sense of who it is that you are learning from. So what I'm going to ask is, let's just go in order of you on my screen right now at the bottom. And I'm going to start with Mrs. Brosnan, if you don't mind to introduce yourself. And
Hi. Okay. Hi, everybody. So nice to see so many students. My name is Mrs. Brosnan. I'm a nurse. I teach at Rolling Meadows High School. I started my healthcare career as a nursing assistant in high school because I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a nurse. So currently I'm in my fourth year teaching CNA at Rolling Meadows, which is the third class in the health career pathway. I also teach Med Academy, which is a course that seniors can take.
Excellent. Thank you. And before we move away from you, where did you do your undergraduate work?
I went to Loyola University.
Awesome. And then what work experience have you had outside of District 214 that helped prepare you for your participation in this pathway?
Right. Good question. I was a nursing assistant for 5 years when I was in high school. I worked on a cardiac floor. I then did cardiac nursing, cardiac rehab, pulmonary rehab, and I ended my career in a COVID ICU.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, Mr. Kemp, will you please introduce yourself?
My name is Jeff Kemp. I'm an orthodontist, and I've been practicing in Arlington Heights area for 32 years. My children went to Hersey. I've treated kids from all of the District 214, so I know how excellent this district is. And I guess I'm the result of somebody that just got into that medical pathway and kept going. And I wouldn't mind sharing how much I love my job and how I got there for people that are interested in that kind of thing.
Amazing. Is Reed Kemp your son?
That is my boy.
I was his history teacher at Hersey High School.
Very good.
Where did you complete your undergraduate?
So I went to University of Illinois in Champaign for undergrad, finished there in 1984. Then dental school was in Chicago, University of Illinois again, in 1988. And then I got my proficiency in orthodontics in 1990, 2 more years later, and have been out here since and love just about every minute of it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, Aiden Allenfort, jump in.
All right. I'm Aiden Allenfort. I'm a student at John Hersey High School, and I've been following the healthcare pathway since about sophomore year, and I'm currently in my certified nursing assistant class.
Excellent. And did you take other courses prior to certified nursing assistant?
Yeah, I took Intro to Healthcare 1, I took Intro to Healthcare 2, and medical terminology.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Lauren Goodman, you're up.
Thank you. I'm Lauren Goodman. I'm a board certified music therapist and the owner of Prospect Music Therapy in Mount Prospect. I have my undergraduate degree in music therapy from the University of Dayton. After that, I did my clinical training at University Hospitals in Cleveland. I did my master's degree in music therapy at MCP Hahnemann, which is now part of Drexel University in Philadelphia, and did more clinical training in hospitals and in schools during that time. And then I worked for North Shore Healthcare for a long time, specifically with their cardiothoracic surgery patients before opening a private practice.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Okay, Mr. Brent Vilches.
Hello, my name is Brent Vilches. I teach CNA at Hersey and at Wheeling. Prior to this, I was a floor nurse for a little bit under 5 years, working at Alexian Brothers and then a long-term care facility. I was a CNA prior to that for a few years. I got my undergrad at Purdue, and Aiden is my student, so shout out to him. Very proud. And yeah.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you, Brent. All right, Mr. Tim Meyer.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Tim Meyer. I'm one of the athletic trainers and science teachers at Wheeling High School. I am one of the instructors who started this health careers pathway at Wheeling. We started in 2009. And I teach Introduction to Health Careers 1, Introduction to Health Careers 2, and Medical Terminology. My bachelor's degree, undergrad degree was in biology at Augustana College, and then my master's is in teaching at National Louis. And I think I already mentioned I'm one of the athletic trainers at Wheeling. So my medical experiences as an athletic trainer. Prior to teaching, I worked for 2 orthopedic surgeons, and I assisted in the operating room and in the office, in addition to working at another high school after school before I came to District 214.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Meyer. All right, D'Angelo Starr.
Hello, everyone. I'm D'Angelo Starr. I'm the new student success coach over at Elk Grove High School. I was just hired back in August. I just graduated with my BA in sociology from North Central College. A little bit about my role. I help students with internships, apprenticeships, and career exploration. So just helping students kind of figure out their paths and what is it they want to do once they leave high school, and also helping them during high school, with internships and apprenticeships.
Excellent. Thank you, D'Angelo. All right, Lenny Manu.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lenny Manu, and I'm the CNA coordinator from Harper. I am a nurse, and my specialty is medical surgical nursing. I got my master's degree in nursing education, and within the last years, I've been an approved educator and by DPH. And I've been teaching CNA students for the last 8 years as well, from all walk of life, including high schoolers. And I think my oldest CNA student was about 72. Nice to meet everyone. Yes.
Amazing. That's amazing. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
All right, and Tiffany Kupkowski.
Hi, everyone. I am a teacher at Rolling Meadows, and I've worked closely with Tim Meyer and Beth Brosnan. I teach currently the same classes as Tim, Intro to Healthcare 1, Intro to Healthcare 2, and Medical Terminology. I also teach biology and chemistry, and I went to University of Illinois and got my biology degree, and I got my master's at California State University, and I taught out there for a number of years and helped start a career pathway for the medical field at that school.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, Amanda Skierkiewicz.
Hi, my name is Amanda Skierkiewicz. I am a neuropsychologist. I primarily see pediatric patients. I work at Landstrom Center, a private practice where we primarily do neuropsychological evaluations. We also have a lot of therapy services. We also have a pretty therapy program and training programs here. In addition to having the District 214 students, we also have doctoral students from a number of area schools in clinical and school psychology programs. The interns that come on site get a chance to interact with students who are in a number of different facets of their training. And in addition to my clinical work, I also teach adjunct at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. I teach the neurodiversity courses. And then I've got my colleague here.
I'm Kelsey Astro. I'm a board certified neuropsychologist. I specialize in pediatrics and geriatrics. I went to the Illinois School of Professional Psychology for my master's and doctorate programs. And I've been here at Landstrom Center for about 5 years now.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Okay, I saw Sue Volpe on here. Is Sue still on here?
Yes, hi.
Okay.
I apologize. I wasn't able to get my video to work. Apparently my phone thinks that I'm in driving. So I apologize for that. But anyway, my name is Sue Volpe. I'm a clinical nurse manager of the inpatient rehab unit at Northwest Community Hospital. I transitioned my role about 7 months ago from the bedside, and I went to Harper College for the RN program. Recently finished up at Purdue for the BSN. I also have a previous degree in marketing, so nursing is a second career for me. Very happy to have found the fire in my belly career, so I'm very grateful for that. Maria is a PCT CNA. She's an apprentice on our unit right now. We're very happy to have her, also very happy to participate and to see a former peer from Harper College, Brent, here. So it's nice to see all of the healthcare professionals that I'm familiar with as part of this good group. So happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I think the last panelist we have is Ria, who was just discussed. So Ria, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, my name's Ria Gandhi. I'm a senior at Hersey High School. And yeah, like Sue said, I'm part of the D214, like the CNA apprenticeship program. So I work at Northwest Community Hospital as the patient care tech while doing classes both at Hersey and Harper. So, yeah.
Awesome. That's wonderful. Okay, thank you so much. Did I miss any panelists who joined without me noticing? It is entirely possible that that occurred. No? Okay. All right. Before we get into some of the questions for the panelists, I wanted to share with you a little bit of info that gives you a little like an overview of this health sciences pathway in District 214. And so as we do this, and we can see the panelists who are part of this experience for you here tonight, the range of opportunities that are available to your students are just as vast as the range of experiences that our panelists have just discussed. So if you got here at the beginning and you heard everybody introduce themselves, the range of experiences that our partners have are amazing. Just an unbelievable range. We have teachers who have experience in the actual health careers field. We have partners in the community who are currently physicians, or as you met, Mr. Kemp, Dr. Kemp, an orthodontist. We have all of these experiences here, and the expertise that we're able to share gives our kids an unbelievable experience. And so regardless of the type of pathway that you as a student, or if you're a parent watching as well, the range of possibilities that exist for your students is pretty unbelievable. We don't expect any student to know exactly what it is that they are going to be. This is one of the most important misconceptions about our approach in District 214. We want our students to be aware of and to take advantage of opportunities that get them into finding and discovering the future that they hope to have. But as our participants here tonight can share with you, the range of opportunities and experiences in a field as broad as health careers is just, it's dumbfounding. And I am pretty certain that our panelists tonight, several of them, if not all of them, underwent numerous career changes, staying in somehow the health careers field, but not ending up where they probably scripted their lives to be when they were in high school. So we're really excited about what we can offer. And I want to take a minute to just describe a couple of these pathway opportunities very quickly. So first of all, a lot of our students are interested in a career in nursing, and we are able to give students that, in that certified nursing assistant pathway an experience and get our kids into real world experiences and introduced to the idea of nursing. But as you can see on this document, the courses that they take are in many respects just like courses that any other student is going to take in District 214. It is in the elective areas that those students decide where do they want their focus to be, what kinds of things might they want to take. And this information is all available for you in your school's student services area, as well as the website, where you can find this info and take a look at academic programs and pathways that are available to our kids. So nursing is one of them. In addition, you can see that there's a pre-med approach. We know that we have that many students that, like, nursing sounds interesting, but they have their like their mind and heart set on being a physician or a surgeon or any number of careers that are going to require a whole lot of years of school after high school is over. And we want our students to feel like this is absolutely a possibility for them. So you can see there's a similar approach in a pre-medical field. If you go to the website, District 214, d214.org, you can find under the academics tab, this academic pathways and programs guidebook. And it's an amazing document that is filled with quick guidance for students and parents as they're making these tough decisions about what types of things might you want to take. Again, I can't emphasize this strongly enough. Nobody's expecting a teenager to know for certain exactly what they want to be when they grow up. Most of the adults in this panel don't know what they want to be when they grow up. However, the opportunities that are in this guidebook to introduce our students to, they're really something. And we encourage you to take a look at them at your leisure at a later time to see kind of what is out there. So with that said, I'm going to now stop with the presenting part and start with the asking our panelists some questions so they can share their experiences with the participants that are here. And so what I wanted to do is start with those that are actually working in the field. And so Dr. Kemp, I'm going to start with you as somebody in a how many students grow up thinking I want to be an orthodontist? I don't know, but if they saw what your day was like or heard what it was like, they might find a whole lot more intrigue than they may have thought. So would you mind talking a little bit with us about what a typical day is like in your world of work?
Absolutely. So I believe I have the best job possible, and it's fun to listen to everybody talk about how accomplished they are and just how different their pathways are. But I still think I have the best job. And so what I have, I guess a typical day is they're all different, but I have a number of different procedures that I'm going to do and a number of different meetings I'm going to do. I'm going to meet somebody for the first time. I'm going to try to become that person's friend. I'm going to make them feel comfortable, because sometimes they're not there because they want to be. They're there because they sort of have to be, or they might be having a problem with something. So that's my challenge, is to make them my friend first, and then they're going to trust me to manage their treatment, whatever it needs to be. And the treatment's fun too, because I get to go through this whole process. And I see a couple of my patients out in the audience right now, and it's boring at the beginning, getting going. We have a long project ahead of us, but I know that there's going to be an end to that, and that it's going to end with happiness. So every day I get to share somebody getting their braces off or finishing their treatment, and it is just a rush that I get to go through and share that with somebody. So I feel that's why I have the luckiest job possible. And there's stress all the time, but it's not bad. I really just enjoy what I get to do. I love working with kids. I wanted to be a teacher, talking about careers going a different way, because I just love working with the kids. So this way I get to have the best of both worlds, because I'm in the health sciences, which I enjoy. I enjoy being a scientist and applying that kind of knowledge that I learned in school, and but getting to share this stuff with the kids is the best. I have a lot of adult patients too. Those are almost just as fun because they're more challenging as a rule.
At what age did you really decide that orthodontia is where you're heading?
It was in college, and I went and visited with orthodontists and dentists to decide, if there's something I want to do. I'm pretty good with my hands, so I had the physical ability. I had good eye-hand coordination. Those are musts to be able to do the job well. So once I knew I had that, then I just kind of started off that way, knew that I could probably move to education if I wanted to, but was able to keep the grades up enough to get into dental school back in the day, and here I am.
Excellent. Thank you so much. How about Dr. Goodman? What is your what is it? Music therapy is, some people might not even know that that's a field that they could even look into. What does a day look like for a music therapist?
Sure, I can tell you about that. First, I'm not a doctor, so you can just call me Lauren. My day in private practice is very varied. I might start in the morning working at a local nursing facility where I might provide a group music therapy session for clients in a memory care floor. I'll be using music to help with decreasing anxiety, increasing socialization, helping our clients there with life review and having a positive life experience. I'll be doing live music, bringing my guitar, we'll be singing together, we'll be bringing instruments and making music together and encouraging those clients not just to listen to music like they might do with entertainment, but really to participate and using that music to make their lives better. In the afternoon, I might go to a school and work with students in special education, where I might be helping with communication and regulation, helping those students use music and understanding how it affects their brains in order to help them focus better on their schoolwork and be ready for their academics after music therapy. In the late afternoon, I might come back to my clinic space and see individual clients who come to me to work on a variety of things, anything from mental health, decreasing anxiety, to supporting academic work, to improving regulation, a wide variety of things. So in private practice, my day is, I get to see a lot of variety.
Awesome. That's amazing. Well, I think you deserve to be called Dr. Goodman anyway, so I'm going to stick with
I'll
that.
pick it.
All right. Dr. Skirkowitz, if that is your real name. How about you?
It is, but great job on the last name. Usually I just go by Dr. Amanda since it's a little bit simpler. But I think it's kind of difficult to kind of pin down a typical day. Days that I see patients are, I think, one of my favorite, kind of like what Dr. Kemp was describing, that it's those days that you really get to interact with those people who get to see the benefit of your work and working with those families who get answers to some of those questions that have been kind of plaguing them about some of their children. Usually when people end up at a neuropsychologist, that's not usually their first stop. They usually go through quite a few different people before they get to our door. So sometimes being able to see them get some answers and getting some actual recommendations and different avenues for getting intervention strategies is you know, that's really one of my favorite parts. You talked about career changes. Before I did this work, I was a school psychologist. So I still do a lot of work with schools in different districts. This morning I was in an IEP meeting, so still doing some of that work that's kind of connected. So some of that and working with some of the students who are on site and kind of going over cases and seeing some of their excitement and passion for the field, and you know, kind of seeing some of those light bulbs that go off with learning new things and some of that same excitement that we see in some of the work. And I don't know what your ideas are.
So my day is usually similar to Dr. Amanda's. On days where I'm seeing patients, I'm usually either doing intakes to collect some clinical information about their background and development, or feedbacks, giving them results based on the evaluations that I've completed with them. For younger children or very old adults, I am working directly with the patient. So either getting on the floor for an assessment or going to a nursing home or a hospital, both of which I'm on staff at. And, you know, getting that hands-on experience also that Dr. Kemp mentioned, which I really find fascinating. I think Dr. Amanda would agree that our days are never similar or the same, meaning that you have a different experience every time you come to work, which makes it really exciting. And the process of trying to solve puzzles and figure out what is plaguing someone and make it better for them is really what I find most enjoyable.
That's wonderful. Thank you. I'm talking to the District 214 teachers. Those of you that, I mean, how much do you teach about becoming an orthodontist? How much do you teach about becoming a music therapist? Do you get into that kind of detail?
I would say through speakers. Like I try to have at least one dental. It's only for me, personally at Rolling Meadows, that's where it goes in depth, is just through speakers.
And so what would you say as teachers? How do you address that range? What are the common themes that you must address with our District 214 students to maybe get them ready for the wide range of possibilities that exist?
In our curriculum, we have activities and assignments set up for the kids to kind of research different careers. Because like you said, the medical field is just so vast. And you had mentioned that, nursing was our focus, but in reality, it isn't. Yes, our kids do end up getting a CNA certification, but we focus on every career in the medical field. And we talk to the kids about, if you're going to be a healthcare provider and treating patients, the common denominator in all of those careers is working with people and treating patients. And so we have entire units in Health Careers 1 and Health Careers 2, where the kids are researching careers that they're interested in. Like Tiffany mentioned, we try to bring in speakers from the medical field, physicians, doctors, dentists. We also try to bring in our Wheeling High School, or I shouldn't say Wheeling, our District 214 graduates. At Wheeling, we have our Health Careers graduates who are currently physical therapists and athletic trainers and nurses. And we have a student or two in dental school. We have a couple students that maybe 3 or 4 that I'm aware of that are in medical school. And so we try to bring them back and have them talk to our kids, especially now that, Zoom is such a friendly thing. Last spring, I had one of our graduates Zoom from Northwestern, and he's in medical school there. And so the kids really have different opportunities based upon what they're interested in.
I really appreciate you talking about the common denominator thing, that, no matter what it is that they're getting into, you've got to learn how to care and treat people with great care. What would you say, Brent, is a new teacher in 214, teaching the CNA course? What do you see in the kids that you teach? Do you feel like that's something that's already known? Is it something that needs to be developed? Where would you say students are at in that trajectory by the time you get them in that CNA course?
I'd say by the time they show up, they're already sort of mini professionals. I know myself, when I was at that age, I wasn't ready from a maturity standpoint to be taking care of other individuals. So I'm very impressed by anyone who decides to take this class, CNA. But the goal and the hope is by the end of the course, through clinicals, which is where they actually get to go on site to various nursing homes and hospitals and take care of real people. They kind of build that maturity, they build that confidence of taking care of these individuals. And no matter what field they want to do, you don't have to go CNA to RN. You can go CNA to, physician's assistant, physician, anything in the healthcare field, because it gives them that, experience that's so invaluable. And they're getting it as high schoolers, which blows my mind. It's amazing.
And then, so Mrs. Brosnan, you still have them in the high school in that medical academy level. What do they get? What kind of takeaways do kids get? I'm certain that they get the care for the individual, and no matter what, taking care of the human. What do they get on paper? What are the things that they carry out with them after the kinds of experiences they're able to get in District 214?
Right. So one of the things that I really think is a benefit when you're in a clinical situation, and this ties into trying to introduce them to other careers, you say there's a pharmacist, there's a respiratory therapist. That's a 2-year degree, and they're so short that there's a sign-in bonus. There's the lab person, there's the ultrasound tech. So as you're in the facilities, there's a speech therapist. Maybe the student never thought about that. So if they go through the pathway, they come away with a CNA certificate, they're CPR trained. We also do a stop the bleed training in several of the classes. And even if they don't decide healthcare, they still have that certificate on their resume forever.
Mhm. Awesome. And then, so some of our, Ms. Manu, you're at Harper. What are you, continuing to offer our students who work their way into the Harper programs?
Oh, definitely. I was looking here at all these health science programs that we have. I try, I'm starting to count and I'm like, oh my gosh, the sky is the limit. Not quite, but definitely we have, dental hygiene, massage therapy, PTA, phlebotomy, radiologic technicians, of course, the nursing, CNA, 2RN, 2LPN, and also nutrition, PTA, surgical technology, health and physical education, medical office administration or medical assistant. So these are some of the programs that we do have at Harper.
Wonderful, thank you. And I know that Elk Grove, our #1 post-secondary destination is Harper, is the
Definitely.
largest single post-secondary school that our students at Elk Grove go to. #2 is the University of Illinois. There's a significant difference in the way those institutions are viewed. And we look at both of them as outstanding opportunities when you know what you're doing and why. If a student's just going somewhere for no particular reason, it's not necessarily a great choice. Even if it seems like a good school, if somebody's going to Harper with a plan, it's an outstanding option. And so I just really applaud and appreciate all of you teachers who do this work to help our students understand why they would be doing what they're doing. And regardless of where they end up, they can see themselves on a path to something, and it's phenomenal. So let's hear from a couple of the students and see what they're.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
we also have kind of forgotten that our health careers program and all of our pathway programs in this district allow our students to make decisions without cost, right? So prior to all of these pathway programs in our district, students would have to pay to go to Harper or any other university, pay to take these college classes, and then realize, well, maybe I don't like the medical field and I want to try manufacturing or engineering or what have you. But our programs allow the kids to make decisions, and even if they drop our program, they've made a decision, and our program has helped them to make that decision, and they have not paid out of their pocket for it.
Absolutely. Thank you for making that point. It's wonderful. Out of time and money that they cannot get back. And not only do they get to do it in 214, they get to do it with teachers like you who are going to show them the extra time and care that somebody in the post-secondary world may not always. We're a little warmer and fuzzier in the high school setting, and so our kids get that chance to mess up a little bit and get a little bit of grace along the path at a way, because we know that they're still kids. And so thank you for making that point. So how about this experience? Aiden and Ria, you're both doing this right now. And if you don't mind, go ahead and tell us what classes you've taken, and do you think you have a pretty clear sense of what you are going to go for next? How clear do you think you are? Ria, why don't you go first? What have you taken, and how clearly do you feel like your future is kind of laid out for you?
Okay, so freshman year I took Intro to Health Sciences, I think, and then sophomore year was midterm, and then junior year I did the CNA course, and then following that I got my CNA license. And so right now I'm doing the apprenticeship. So I go to Harper for Monday and Wednesday, I go to Harper and I do the human anatomy course and physiology. And it's rigorous. It's definitely it's a lot, but I have a pretty good balance because I'm only doing 2 classes at Hersey then. So I have time for this class. And Yeah, so with the apprentice, it also like secured me a job at the hospital, Northwest Community Hospital. And so I work as a PCT there. Like, so it's like everything I learned like in high school, I use that every day at my job. Like there's not a day that I don't use it. Cause like everything, all the skills from CNA class, like you use that every day. Like there's no doubt. And this helped me in my future because like right now I'm applying to nursing programs for college. I've gotten into a few and like, yeah, I just like I know I'm gonna be a nurse. Like this is meant for me, you know. It just solidified my future. So
That's awesome. That is amazing. And you're in high school.
yeah.
And I just, one of our graduates who just Elk Grove grad, went to DePaul, graduated from DePaul. I just saw her and she's a PCT right now. You have the same job as a college graduate she's going to keep going and do things and find her like long-term future. But in high school, we have students that are already doing the type of work that is seen as like quote unquote real work by the rest of the world. That's amazing. So that's an awesome story. And our schedule allows us to give students like Ria that opportunity. So since we went to a block schedule, one of the pros of this is that we have allowed that time for a student to be able to participate in an apprenticeship or an internship and not miss like 6 classes in a day. They've only got 4 total in a day. And if they take 1 or 2 at their home school, and then the rest of the day is partly in these fields, it's the kind of thing that we couldn't have necessarily done. So it's amazing. Okay, Aiden, how about you? What's your trajectory? What have you taken and how solid are you with what you're thinking?
Yeah, so as I said, I've taken Intro to Healthcare 2 and medical terminology. And this year I'm taking CNA. So I didn't start like Ria in my freshman year with my health science career pathway. I actually started during my sophomore year. So I was a little bit undecided. But it so far has been a great experience for me to be able to actually like explore the healthcare field at my own pace, because they're just teaching you the basics and they're just teaching you such a wide variety of the skills that you need as a healthcare professional. It really just allows you to basically learn about all these different areas of the healthcare field and discover basically your own pace. So right now, what I'm deciding on, I think wanting to do in college is study genetics and genetic engineering and stuff behind that. But, obviously I'm not locked into that or anyway. And it's not like by taking the healthcare setting, the healthcare pathway, I'm locked into being like a nurse or something. It's just a great way for you to, figure out exactly where you might want to go in the healthcare setting. And that's really what I took away from my time at Hersey.
That's amazing. Thank you, Aiden. That's awesome to hear. So while our students are finding their way, there's not only the teachers in the classroom, there's not only their counselors who know more now about career pathways than counselors have ever needed to or had to know in all of school history. The amount of work that goes into this is pretty crazy. And some of that critical work is at the one-on-one student and staff level with some students that don't necessarily know what's headed their way or where they're going to go. And so recently in 214, every school has had placed in our buildings a student success coach. And at Elk Grove, ours is D'Angelo Starr. All the buildings have somebody in this role. But D'Angelo, why don't you take a minute and talk about every building has a person who's just like you, and what are you available to offer students throughout the course of a day as they look for discovering their future?
Again, so as a student success coach, our job, we're trying to help students kind of find, their path, that through internships and apprenticeships, sort of like our apprentices here are doing. And that's kind of like the biggest takeaway. A few comments ago, I wanted to piggyback off that about the internship program that we do offer. Students can take that and figure out, is healthcare something that I'm interested in? And also they, even if it's something that they don't want to do, they don't get in trouble for that. There's no penalty for that. And they can still receive a credit on their transcript for that, just because they completed that internship. And they can also go into another path if that's something that they don't want to do. As student success coaches, we've been doing different presentations. We're kind of pushing in the classrooms, kind of offering this program to students, letting them know how they can get an internship. Another example that you already gave, Paul, was just an example of the students who, the one student who was in college and, she's already looking at that job, and we have here, Ria's already about to get out of high school and they're going to be working the same job. And so that's what we're telling high school students, you have an opportunity that, wasn't always there when many of us were in high school. And, it was said that, in college, internships is kind of like that time of when your junior year, senior year, but we're offering that program now to high school students. And I think it's a really cool opportunity. Over at Elk Grove, we're building more and more every day. I've been doing different presentations about that. I've had some healthcare students come in with interest. And I learned that through career exploration and getting to know different students. And, we're doing different things of having, student trackers, and we're keeping track of students who are interested in what when it comes to different career paths. And so some of them are doing spring internships, some of them do our summer, and some are doing fall. And so just credit to those two apprentices right there, because they've clearly set themselves up in a great position. And that's what we're trying to continue to do with multiple students throughout the district and here at Elk Grove. So it's a really cool program. And, being hired as a student success coach, I've had a lot of fun just talking to different students and learning about their different career paths and where they want to go, and hearing their enthusiasm about their interests. So it's a really cool job. And I love being able to talk with them and just help them out every day and find what they want to do. So.
Thanks, D'Angelo. So it's an amazing thing. You could see the range and amount of help that is here for a student who isn't totally sure what to do is amazing. There is a teacher or teachers at every single building, just like the ones that you've talked to here, that are there to help clarify, just like brainstorm, just to reinforce and encourage students to think about these paths. Every building has a student success coach to help, again, brainstorm, think through options that they didn't even know existed. And so just like we have more panelists than we can really even hear from in great detail, every building has more people available to help with this area than you will ever be able to meet. And if you're a student, you won't even get to talk to all the people who could possibly help you. That's a very, very good problem to have. And so before we have to wrap this, I do want to hear from each of the adults again about what is it that you would say a student should do if they wanted to start and they don't really know where they're going to end up. What is the most important thing you would say to a student who's considering entering into one of these paths, whether they're a freshman or whether they're a senior? What would you say? Who wants to go first? This is a tough one. Tiffany, are you ready?
I was going to see what other people said.
I know, right?
What would I say if they weren't sure?
Yeah, they're just thinking about it. How would you approach a student like that?
I think one thing Beth and I have said to our students too is what a great opportunity before you go to college to see, do I really want to do this? How many students go to college thinking they want to do pre-med and have never touched a patient or sat near a person, and to have that opportunity. So try it now.
That's awesome. Thank you. Tim, how about you?
Yeah, my suggestion is to sign up for the healthcare introduction to healthcare class and see what you think. Right? I mean, it's a great opportunity, like you said, and it'll help you make a decision.
Excellent. Brent, you're newer to our district, but what would you say to anybody that you meet who's thinking about this?
I would say take a chance. I mean, I don't think every district has this available. I wish I could go in a time machine and go do this all over again with this current system. Take the chance. If you like it, keep going. If not, find something else. There's so many options.
Awesome. Beth, how about you?
Well, besides healthcare being such a big growth area for jobs, if students think they want to do it, many times colleges are requiring hands-on experience. Nurse practitioner, PA, physical therapy, you might have to have several hundred hours. And why not start like Ria or Aiden, where you've got hours under your belt and you know how to take care of people empathetically.
Wonderful. Okay, how about our professionals out in the field? Lauren, don't call me Dr. Goodman. How about you? What would you say?
I think high school is a great time to try a lot of things. try multiple things and find what you love and figure out how to make that your job.
Which you clearly have. You